What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean and Green lawn service, property service, handyman service, wood shop service, whatever service it is we're working on today. Let me clean this off. That better? I'm turning the wrong way. Dadgummit, I keep forgetting about that. I am out here today and Powermatic 66. I am building an extension for this table. So, got a piece of melamine here that I've already cut down to size, what I need. I'm about to take some of this poplar and rip it down in 1.5 inch strips. And I'm going to use it to edge that to drop in here. And I'll give you a little bit more detail about that in a few minutes, but for right this minute, I'm gonna get to ripping up this board and then I'll check back with y'all. Yes, that blade was smoking. Yes, that blade is dull. But with 3 horse, it doesn't care. It just cuts through it. So, what we have here is we have our strips cut out. Cut these 1.5 inches basically to match what I already have on this table. I'm going to band that piece of melamine with it. And then I have to add a piece of 1/2 inch plywood to get this shim here. So you got to have a shim so that your fence system works. See, this fence has to stay away from the table. See that gap through there? That shim creates that. So what I'm gonna do is build that table a little bit smaller than this one, and I'm put 1/2 inch plywood strip around it, band this side and that side with it, and that should give me the distance that I need. We'll see. Here we go. A quick little time lapse there. Shut my compressor off or turn the air valve off, so I'm going to use it for a few minutes. Here's what we have. Let's see what we have. We have 26 and about 5/8, and we need to get this thing up to 28 1/4. So once we took 2 more pieces, the plan is we'll take 2 more pieces of this roughly 3/4 inch material. So we have a piece on this side doubled and a piece on this side doubled. Let's see if I can set all this down here so I can see what's going on. And if you see, maybe hard for you to see, we got just a little bit of an overhang, which is going to maintain us a gap. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I'm doing here. And that has got an overhang there. So we're going to maintain a small gap between here, just so that we got plenty of free travel for our fence. Now, what I'm going to do on this next piece that I cut, though, and I'm going to put you back in time lapse. That's why I'm kind of telling you this. Is because I need that. I want that gap at the top and the bottom. So what I'm actually gonna do is rip a small strip to go down more so on the bottom of this, okay? So I'm gonna put a strip, the strip's gonna be down here like that. And that's gonna give me the distance that I need. That way when I screw into it, when I screw this in, it's gonna hold it back. Now what I'm gonna actually do though, is I'm gonna set this up here because it's gonna be a thin strip. I don't wanna bust it. And I could actually just put a couple of little pieces on here. They don't really have to be that. Matter of fact, I might do that. But I don't want to screw through the small pieces because they'll crack. So what I'm going to do is set this in here. And I'll mark this hole, that hole, and that hole, which is going to be the mounting holes. And I'm going to make sure that I do not put the blocks in that location. Keep them back from that location. And again, they won't be the complete width of this. They're going to be designed to sit near the bottom of this piece. So. And then this, if you look, the center of this fence rail is just barely above the bottom of the table. And so that's kind of, it may be confusing what I'm trying to tell you, but I'm going to put you in time lapse. Once I get it done, I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so we got our spacers on here on both sides, and then we're gonna miss our holes. And I'm gonna see if I can just set it in there and show you. I don't know if I can get a good angle here where you'll be able to see this. I'm just gonna put you up here on the fence. You're on the fence, man. On the fence. And so this is going to go in against that, just like that there. And then we're going to screw it in. So now I got to figure out a way to level it up on there. And probably what I'm going to do is I may temporarily take and nail a straight edge to that, lay it across the table so I get it like I want it, and then put the screws in there. Let me figure out what I'm going to do, and then I will check back with you. Alright, so what I did is I temporarily nailed these pieces on through the wood. Let them set right there. We got a pretty flush. I got just a little bit of raise there. And then to screw the back in, I put a straight edge. Now, here's one of the things you're going to find. You see that gap? It may be hard to see on the camera. But it does have a gap. But what's happening is the back side of this table down here has got to have support. And once that gets the support it's supposed to have, I think we're going to be pretty close. So it seems to me anyway. So let's go ahead and by the way, I said S-wing hammer's the best one there is. This is not one. My S-wing is in my truck. It's being worked on. So this is a cheap Harbor Freight. I leave those laying around. Somebody wants to borrow a hammer, I give them a cheap Harbor Freight hammer. I got to get some pliers to get these out, and then I'll show you what we got. All right, so there we go. Where we had earlier, let's see if I can put this back up. Yeah! Kind of tight, I gotta get a spray for that. So before, with support, realistically, we could have cut more than this, but we were at roughly 19 inches. Now, we can easily, with support out here, and that's the goal right there, is just to get over 49, which we have done. And when we run this material through, we're going to have support. All right. So I put a 2x4 under there for support. Now, I may buy an adjustable leg or something, or like one of the roller frames or something. I got an idea for that. This is just simply screwed in. You know, will it get off eventually? Will some of this wood swell being out here, and that might rub? You can see how close it is. Probably I could have dropped that down about another 3/16, and that would have helped. But you can see it's pretty tight right there. I mean, it's not really rubbing. This thing's just kind of hard to move, period, but it's not really rubbing, and I could take a wood chisel and fix that if I needed to. But we got support. Now, what we'll end up doing next is we'll take and we'll go probably from the back side of this blade, we'll go out, say 50 inches. And what that'll do, or probably what we're going to do, is go 48 from the end of the saw, which is going to actually give us about 55 from the end of the blade. And what it means, when we cut 8-foot sheets of plywood, for example, once we get through the blade, we still have more weight on the table than we do hanging over the end. And that way it doesn't kick up on us. So, and that's for what I'm doing here. Again, that's about all I'll need. Again, I could easily still cut a 12-foot piece on that table doing it like that. So anyway, that's kind of what the plan is. So this is just a cheap little fix. I mean, there are things that you can go online and buy that's already got a leg and they bolt right up. I don't know what one of those would cost, but I'm calling this a table saw extension on a budget. This was just stuff that I had laying around between me and my buddy. I don't know what a sheet of melamine would cost. You could use, right there, you could use 1/2-inch plywood. Now this has a nice slick surface, but I know you can get 1/2-inch, the 1/2-inch plywood, cabinet grade, low end, $35 a sheet. You could get a board of this poplar to wrap it in. You could use a piece of the poplar that you cut off for your leg down there. I mean, literally for $60 or so, you could build this. You could even go to your local, you could probably build it a little cheaper than that. Excuse me a second, the air compressor's on. So, as I was saying, this is a really simple build. The truth is, if you have a table saw that you need to extend the table on, chances are you got the stuff you need laying around the shop to do it. Quite honestly, most people don't have a table saw like this unless they do woodworking. Now, over here, I do have one on this little this table saw. Again, one I built. That's just out of regular plywood. Same thing. I banded it, and I've since taken it loose. Well, I had a leg under it, and when I moved it, I took the leg off. So, and this is just a Delta, kind of like really like a contractor saw, probably just for its time anyway. They make them all a lot smaller now. So, anyway, that's just a little update on the shop. I'm gonna actually put these, I think, in a playlist called Woodworking or the Wood Shop or something along those lines, just to kind of keep all of these together. So trash man just come and dump the trash on Christmas Eve, man, working hard. Anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you and that you might see all of your blessings as from him. Hope you have a great day.